Hey there, lovelies. I hope you're doing well out there. I just wanted to share what's been coming up for me and quite a few other people and in clinic as well. So, we're talking the energies of what's happening around us, and we quite often feel that we're going through this all alone and it's all just our own experiences, or actually we're individually and collectively going through so many different shifts and transformation right now, especially when you're more open to that, and how that's playing out, especially as we're coming to the autumn equinox, which is about balance. um, it's really about our choices right now, and to know that we always have a choice, we have free will, and what's playing up for when we want to have more joy in our life. So let me just firstly just say, actually our purpose in this life is to have joy, to experience life, and we're not here, these miracles that we are, to get work hard, stress and die. This really isn't our main purpose for being on this planet. It's so much more, and it's about being there for each other, that whole sharing of happiness and joy, that inner working that we need to do. And that's really deep. And to want that joy, to want to experience that love, that inner peace, that contentment, we have to go through a huge transformation period, which isn't rosy. It isn't just nice baths and candles. That's very important for our nervous system, and having those moments of care. But we also have to go through a whole load of shite to shift, basically, to experience that joy. So when we choose that we want to have this much more abundant lifestyle, naturally what comes up is what shows us what is blocking that. So we need to kind of have that objective awareness to know that these things are coming up to help us, to serve us, to actually overcome, to heal, to grow, to get through. Yet we can quite easily get caught up in the story that's coming up, and as it's our truth, especially fear. Feels so real, unless it's in the present moment, it's an illusion. But fear has such a massive impact in terms of our thoughts and our actions and what we do, and how we block ourselves into actually experiencing this joy. And I certainly have it. I'm certainly feeling it. I'm going through this massive transition. And I'm also, as we're upgrading, as we're having these big energy upgrades to kind of ultimately experience more joy. And these old patterns that come out to say, well, here's your old pattern, this is what you need to heal. We start get a little bit bombarded. And I know from my perspective, I'm seeing my old patterns of busy, 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 got to be doing loads, got to be really heavily in my masculine energy, and I'm doing, I've got to get things done, I have to do this. There isn't that trust that actually if I just calm it down a little bit, things might just naturally happen. Not everything is my own doing. I can set an intentions and I can do actions, yet there's a whole massive play out there of this universal field that we can interact with, and trust is working to our highest good when we choose love, joy and peace, because that's ultimately what we really want. We just want to have love, that experience, that unconditional love, that pure, that joy, that abundance, the contentment. That's ultimately what we're all looking for. It seemed to sometimes go down different rabbit holes, thinking that's what's going to give us that to us. So when we don't necessarily know how, and that's what we have to kind of surrender, really. We have to surrender that to the universe, to go, right, okay, I'm not quite sure how this is going to happen or how this is going to play out. However, this is my choice. This is what I wish for. This is what I choose. And it's, for me today, it was like an SOS, so actual signal to my soul to literally, can you airlift me out of this crisis that's going on, which is my body visceral response is trying to create for me, my ego, which is it's not our kind of what we class ego as arrogance. It's actually the negative mind that tries to tell us that we shouldn't do this or you have to do that. And it's very shame and guilt, kind of fear-based voice that we have, which can really play out quite loudly in our experiences, because it feels so real. especially when we have that neural response and then the visceral response, and the visceral comes back to the brain, and it's like a constant loop and pattern and confirmation, these neural pathways that we have set deeply ingrained in our bodies and our brains and our systems and our visceral and our energies. Yet we can choose to step out of that. And what, like I said, was playing out for me is like my busyness has been like, well, here's courses, here's this you can do, and so much aspects were trying to like things to do were coming my way, and I was getting like, well, how hell am I going to do all of this? And but what it was a crossroads. I'm at a crossroads, and a lot of us are all at crossroads to decide what we want in our life. Do we go the roads of shoulds, haves, needs to, the guilt, the shaming aspect, or what we've already done before because that feels normal, that feels our control? Or do we have this trust in ourselves and surrender and go, no, actually what feels really good is actually connecting to more my spiritual aspects that I want to do, to create a signature course for my clients to come to really experience this whole transformation, to put work and effort and energy into the Infinity Health Hub that I'm creating. It's trusting that that is the right way, that actually being very open with my spirituality and this aspect of myself is big. And I was getting overwhelmed thinking I've got to try and do it all. And actually, I made the choice. Actually, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to go the old route. I choose this route. I trust it. It feels good. It brings me joy. It's not a should. And that's massive, to allow ourselves to say, I deserve joy. I'm worthy of that. That's huge. And to trust it's okay to show my vulnerable aspects, because spirituality, or however you want to class it, is hasn't had the best press in our humanity, really. It's been suppressed. People have been killed. It was never anything that was really allowed to be, and that gets imprinted into our systems, into our bodies. It's known that what has happened to our ancestors, we can carry that trauma. So it's huge. It's breaking free from all of that, and trusting in yourself, trusting in your heart, what feels really good. So yeah, I just wanted to share the message that if you're feeling really overwhelmed, not quite sure knowing which way to go, feeling there's too much going on, just give yourself some time to breathe, to listen to what you really wish, what you desire, not what you think you should do, and trust in that. Really trust that, because when we work on that higher vibration of joy, we're just lighter. We're like this more fairy-like kind of floating with much more ease and grace. When it's a should, it's like a hard trudging through mud, and it's hard graft, and you're always going to attract whatever your energy is at. So if you're coming from a space of joy and worthiness, that's what you get. You just become more ease and graceful. And then naturally, from relating that back to the body, it's the nervous system, allowing the nervous system to come into that parasympathetic, that calm. The joy aspect of oxytocin is like a hormone that seems to just heal everything. It's really important. So just give yourself space to breathe and ask the questions. Does this serve me joy? Does this serve me purpose? If the answer is no, question why you're doing it. Sometimes there's a have to, like housework, but sometimes you don't have to do all the housework. So just really ask those deep questions and question your patterns and your beliefs of why you're doing it. And you'll unearth quite a huge amount of stuff, I'm sure. And I know I certainly am. And so just be gentle with yourself, give yourself that space. Don't just launch yourself into this massive masculine energy of the doing, And a masculine is like both male and female, you know, so it's like the real sort of in your face kind of energy, that's the pushing, the drive. So it might be a matter of just gently sitting in the balance of your feminine too, both male and female. Do the dance between the two, and without one or the other, neither can exist. So just flow gently, and knowing that actually sitting in your feminine, your more receiving energy, is actually still very powerful. We see the female or the feminine as the vulnerable aspect of ourselves, the weaker aspect of ourselves, and it really isn't. It's like water, it can be gentle, but it can be super strong, and that's the energy. But it's also, what came to me is our choice. If we choose to be vulnerable, we're not vulnerable, we're strong, we're so powerful, because it's our choice. We choose to sit in that vulnerable state, suddenly becomes hugely powerful. You know, it's that courage, that paradox of courage and vulnerability, to walk through that. And when we see other people doing it, it just gives us that, I wish I could do that. And we can all do it. So yeah, it's all about choice. It's about balance, female, male, feminine, masculine. It's that gentle dance that we have within ourselves, like our parasympathetic nervous system, like our sympathetic system. It's not one or the other, it's a dance between the two. So the doing is that sort of sympathetic. Allow yourself to flow back into that receive and parasympathetic to heal. You know, it's just a gentle ease and grace. If you can just imagine a beautiful waltz and dance, just picture yourself like that more. Breathe. And the interesting thing, I was trying to light matches earlier, and it wouldn't light. Loads of matches wouldn't light, and I was like, well, what's all this about? And you know, you look into it, it's like you're burning yourself out. There's not enough oxygen. We're not allowing ourselves to breathe. And this is about our heart chakra and our solar plexus, which is the solar plexus is our fire, our inner fire. Our heart is our air element, you know. So, you know, to allow that, if that's not open, to allow yourself to receive, then you're suppressing yourself, you're burning yourself out, and cancelling yourself out. You haven't got the energy, you're just literally just depleted and overwhelmed and stressed. So you can see the cycles, the dance all between the energies, the emotions, the physical, what's happening. So it's just about being mindful of your thoughts, your hopefully then before your actions, or when your actions have space to go, okay, why did I act like that? What was underneath that? What was the driving force? Was it a trigger? And not to get too much into self-sabotage, which is quite a neat, never ego-related nonsense that likes to just, right, okay, you're feeling crap, I'm going to make you feel even worse. Here you go. Feel rubbish about your body, feel rubbish about this. Here's some guilt to feel, you know, just kind of go, well, okay, this is just an old story. And put your SOS out. I choose love, I choose joy, I choose peace. And know that you're worthy. I am worthy of joy and peace and love. I am love, joy, and peace. And that will just really set the intention. Go, no, 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 no. This is the frequency I want up here, not down there. Thank you very much. That's not my truth. Thank you for showing me it, but I'm one of this. So I want this level of joy. And it shifts. And I must admit, I was like, literally, can you just tell your ego to F off? It's like, is that possible? Can you tell your ego to F off? Of course you can. We've got free will. Not to the point that we build resistance against ourselves, because then all again is disconnection and resistance and heat and inflammation. But you know, we can just be mindful of our shit that we carry and that we think, and just go, oh, okay, that's just my old crap, just showing up for a bit of a dusting to clear out, you know, basically, and just kind of see it as that, without the emotional vortex that it can really drag us down into. So I've kind of done a little bit of a dance on this video with a little bit of a soul surge, but hopefully that message has come through, is that it's really about choice. Everything's about your choice, and we can choose to be vulnerable, yet we're still powerful, and to trust in yourself, to know that actually your purpose is to have fun and to have joy. And that we're going through a big healing journey right now, a huge transformation, and shite comes up, but it's purely just coming up for us to shift. So, and be aware of it and heal it and acknowledge it and accept it, but be able to move on from it. So if this is really resonating with you, then it would be good. I think, I'd recommend coming to see me to help you work through this. And this is something that I'm going to be creating, actually, is a signature course of literally combining the mind, body, heart and soul to really explore you and your journey and everything that's holding us back to just having fun and abundance and purpose in life. And I'm sure many of us are like, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Well, this will be something that would really help that, to understand who you are and or who you want, to be, to experience more of, and know that it's possible. So I'm going through that journey. I look for help for that and assistance to guide me through that. I'm offering that to help you go work for your body and how your body is trying to help you heal, with its different ailments and things. But it's going through the whole energetic, spiritual aspect, but through the body. This, we're here having a physical experience. So it's the physical that presents us into different health or different pain and discomfort. Is about us, asking us to heal and shift and move. So that's what I'm putting together, and we make a luxury package. But in the meantime, if you feel like you need some treatments and things, just give me a call, no problem. So if not that, spend time in nature, ground, look after yourself, okay? Give yourself space to breathe. So lots of love in this amazing journey. Just know that you're not alone. We're all going through our shite. So take it easy. Lots of love. Bye.